My name's James. I'm part of the I2 Property umbrella of companies. So from leaving school, actually, I thought I'm going to get into IT because I like technology, and back then, obviously, that was the industry that was moving the quickest. I went to college. I lasted about 6 months there, and I thought I just cannot stand being sat behind a desk all the time. It just weren't for me. I like to be out and about. It was by absolute coincidence that at the time my parents were having a house built. So my parents managed to convince the electrical contractor to give me an apprenticeship. So I ended up getting a job with this electrical contractor, and to be fair, I enjoyed it. I went up and down the country doing various size projects, and then I built up to like a project management role. And yeah, I got a passion for property because I was seeing projects come from like nothing to something, and I thought, I really enjoyed it. I then quickly went on to setting my own electrical contracting business up. Along that journey, I bought my first buy-to-let, bought a second buy-to-let, and was sort of doing it alongside my electrical contracting business in the spare time or in between jobs. And then veered into the renewable energy industry, and then I partnered up with another business partner at the time, and we then started doing mechanical and electrical for the renewables. So we did the whole umbrella of renewables, and we were pretty successful at it. We did really well, but I still had this passion for property, and I was working 80 hours a week, not really having any freedom, work, grind, and at that time I'd not really discovered mentors or books, and I didn't really know how to get out of that. It was just a constant grind, and I thought something's got to change. And the catalyst come when I met Laura, and then a couple of years later we had our daughter Isabel, and then I just thought, I've got to get out of this. I don't want to be working 80 hours a week. What can I do? So he bought me out of the business, and I went full-time into property. From then I had acquired a piece of land at the time which was going to be my next project from selling the business, but that didn't go as planned, as nothing ever does in property, because what became apparent very quickly was we needed cash to live, and building a project what's not going to deliver for a year or so, 18 months, we're not going to sustain our living. It was a bit back to the drawing board really. I sort of parked the land idea, and I set about with a bit of money that I had from selling the business to concentrate on building our buy-to-let portfolio. So I2 at the minute focuses on single lets predominantly, but then obviously we're moving into development. We've done a couple of development projects, and I've been involved with development projects with my family, but we want to step that up now onto the next level, go for a bit bigger projects, maybe have a couple more or 2 or 3 on at the same time, because we've developed the team now that we feel confident we can deliver them projects on time and on budget. The hardest moment in property for me was when I first sold the business, and I was trying to get our first lending done on a buy-to-let mortgage. Bearing in mind I got buy-to-let mortgages, but because I'd not got the business behind me giving me an income, what I could show, a steady income, trying to prove that I got income from just investment properties, it was hard. I went to broker after broker, no, lenders saying no, we don't accept this, we don't accept that. And to be fair, I was this close to giving up, because it was just sent to be one door after another. But then eventually we found a good broker, and we eventually broke that deadlock. So my advice to people is you've got to dig deep and just keep going. It will eventually give. But I know there's a cliche where people say you're this close and people stop there and you've only got that extra inch. But I'll be honest, now being through that myself, I genuinely think that is 100% true. People stop just an inch short of actually breaking through that door. So my advice is just keep going best you can. I2 Property's future, I like to continue in development. I like to do bigger projects, delivering bigger housing schemes, probably up to like 20 units on a housing scheme, possibly more, but I just want to do it in gradual steps. As your experience grows, slowly grow the size of the project. And then also I want to get into nano parks, like baby industrial units, for start-up businesses. I just think they're they're in short supply at the minute, and I'd like to get into that space. Yeah, so if you want to get in touch with me or our companies, you can find us on Facebook, I² Property, or myself, James Muse. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. You can send me a message there.